What we were doing before 11 o'clock this morning was discriminatory.
I now pronounce you spouses for life.
What we're currently doing is not, and it's about time that we did what we've done.
This month marks 20 years since then San Francisco Mayor Gavin Newsom defied state law and started issuing same-sex marriage licenses. That move and the fight for gay marriage nationally, the subject of a 2005 documentary called The Pursuit of Equality. Now taking in a 20th anniversary tour. With more, we are joined by the film's director, Jeff Callan, and the film's producer, his wife, Hillary Newsom Callan. As her name suggests, you're the governor's sister.
I'm the governor's younger sister, yes.
Yeah, and you were the governor's brother-in-law and the filmmaker behind this.
Yeah.
And you work with the Pump Jack Foundation as well. Let's take people back 20 years, because it really was a different world when it comes to these issues. And what he did was really radical at the time.
It really was. It was interesting because Gavin is just a really smart, nice guy who's full of integrity, and so he always wants to do the right thing. So I remember when he was elected mayor, we had brunch at his aunt and uncle's house, and I said, "What's it like being mayor?" He's like, "It's a lot of work." I said, "Anything exciting?" He said, "Yeah, I'm about to ruin my political career." And I said, "What are you going to do?" He goes, "I can't tell you what I'm going to do, but I can tell you it's the right thing to do." And he called my partner Mike Shaw and I on February 11th, and we filmed the first wedding, and then kept filming for 2 years.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is they were like inside getting this access you very rarely get when it comes to a leading figure like this.
I think there was a lot of trust. Mike and Jeff had been filming him for some time during the mayor's race, and so there was definitely the trust. But I don't think anybody expected it to be what it became. In fact, at the brunch, my father was there, and he's since passed away a few years ago, and he said to my brother, "Do you really need to do something that ruins your? Can't we just like ease into this? We're 30-something days into office." And so he went and picked me up as well as my father and drove us down to City Hall, and we saw these thousands of people. We saw my husband and Mike filming, and we saw the people cheering and the people just so, joyful that they had this moment where they could share their love and scream it out to the world, and it was beautiful.
And after being told for their entire lives you are unequal, to now being told by somebody you are equal, and your love matters.
Exactly. And what's interesting is when we made the film in 2005, we won some festivals, but we kept changing the ending because the issue kept changing. The cases started changing, the rules, the law would change, and we last screened it in 2008, right before Prop 8 passed, and then we didn't sell it or screen it or anything until this year, where we think now with a younger generation it's important to understand what we have, that there's put a face on discrimination, share the hearts and minds of change the hearts and minds of people. So, and
some of the young people may not know that there was such a pushback to what he did, that then there was Proposition 8 passed in California, one of the most liberal states in the country, that defined marriage between a man and a woman, which was shocking to a lot of people, especially in that community at the time. And then it went to the Supreme Court. Eventually, the Supreme Court threw that out and legalized same-sex marriage. So it's been 20 years. You guys just screened this in the Castro district. You're doing an event here at USC this week, and the governor was there, got to feel the love from, I'm sure, a lot of the people there, and spoke about it. Here's some of that moment.
This is a full-on assault. And so my point is this point. There is no having made it when it comes to equality. So sex is not a place or a definition, it's a direction. That's why I love the name of this film, Pursuit of Equality.
And we hear some of the gay men's chorus underneath there as part of that clip.
It was so moving. 800 people in the audience, and people who never knew. Our kids are 19 and 20. They don't know a life without same-sex marriage being legal and being the norm. So this was an opportunity for people to put a face on this, the younger generation. What
is the most important thing to think about the fight now as the pursuit continues?
There's as Gavin says, it's almost a politics in reverse and a rights transgression. I think in 2023 there were over 500 anti-gay bills that came out, and now more than ever you have to see this film to put a face on it. You can be for the issue or against it, but if you're on the fence, you'll understand it. And this is what's important about this film now, is because it's fresh. The issue's still tough, but it's a great film to to see what happened back then and what we're fighting still for today.
And it represents so much more than just the LGBTQ plus community. It's about really the pursuit of equality, and that's so much at stake in so many states throughout the United States right now.
And lastly, just because we have you and so many people talk about Gavin Newsom saying both nice and some not so nice things, as his sister, what's he like? Can you tell us something that we may not know about him as a man?
He is absolutely hilarious. People, I think, don't really realize that. He's really funny. He's a workaholic. He's a beautiful father. He's unbelievably athletic. He's just he's a man of integrity and hard work, and I think he's misunderstood. We didn't grow up with the silver spoon in our mouths that people think, and they don't realize the hard work he's had to put in to accomplish and the sacrifices that he's made, and I'm really proud of him. I really feel grateful to have him as my brother.
You didn't even use that opportunity to tease him. That was like the nicest.
I will say one thing. He is probably one of the greatest athletes I've met. Yeah. But I can beat him in golf.
Okay, so there you go. So, Pursuit of Equality screens tomorrow at my alma mater, USC. USC's Ray Stark Family Theater. You can reserve your seat at cinema.usc.edu. There are also going to be screenings around the state to try to get the message out about this. Nice to see you both again.
Thank you
so much for coming in. Congrats on the film.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.